and welcome to ReCall The Midwife. We are a fan podcast. Every week we watch an episode called The Midwife and then we talk about it. I'm Becky.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jen. A reminder that this week's episode deals with traumatic birth, a congenital birth issue, loss and grieving, and a serious illness. So if those are topics you would prefer to skip this time, we understand and hope you join us for the next one. In this week's episode, Nonada's house deals with a newborn diagnosed with bilateral hip dysplasia, while Nurse Crane assists a new mother in accepting her baby's condition and a new modeling job for Reggie. Okay, sorry, hold on. I didn't read this before I started.
Guys, this is AI. Carry on.
In this week's episode, Nonada's house deals with a newborn diagnosed with bilateral hip dysplasia, a mother accepting her baby's condition, and a new modeling job. Nurse Crane assists her, and Reggie is impacted. Wow, they did a really bad job writing. Okay, pivot.
This just shows you guys writing. I'm going to keep this in.
This is why I shouldn't offload any of this to AI. Okay, very general, but this will get to the point. In this week's episode, Phyllis helps an anxious new mother to accept her child's a health issue. Violet's mayoral campaign is jeopardized by tragedy.
My God, guys, this episode.
Girls.
Oh my God. It traumatized us the first time round because remember we all messaged each other about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for it. I realised, in the first bit where they're like, oh, Fred's fixing the whatever it was, the autoclave. And like they're over the voiceover saying like, don't take people for granted and all this kind of stuff, basically is what it's saying. And then I remembered it was this episode and I was like, no.
Oh, it took me a little longer. It wasn't until Reggie and Fred got to the patch of land or whatever. And then Fred was like, no, Reggie, don't stick your fingers in there because it's very dangerous. And then Fred...
it's like an episode of Casualty. You think Reggie's going to hurt himself or his hand's going to come off or something.
Well, but then Fred promptly sticks his finger in there, and it's well, okay. And I mean, I really don't understand how he received the injury he received, but honestly, who cares? Because as soon as I realized, it was just like, oh my gosh. Although, wait, can I just have a moment for one of our Call the Midwife icons coming back? Fred's overalls. They were here. They were so powerful. Even his jeans with the suspenders that he wears, the braces, as you guys like to say.
The braces, like they're called, we invented the world language.
People call things different things, and all those different things are totally fine. And we're not going to judge. We're not going to be harsh on each other.
You just said as you like to say, but carry on.
Well, you do like to say braces. If you had said it, I would have said. You could have said as you like to say, but I was the one speaking.
As you like to say.
Listen, we call them suspenders. You call them braces.
You know what suspenders are over here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
There's something for adults.
Yeah.
Bex, what were you going to say?
I forgot again, honestly.
You all right, Paxton?
No, we've gone straight to recording. Normally we have a preamble. I get used to talking.
Have you not spoken today yet?
Not for a while. Now, the first time I remember we were recording and you were watching this episode in the background.
Yes, because we often record on a Sunday night when the actual episodes are on. So we don't actually get to watch it at the time. That's how much we sacrifice our love. We do this for you guys.
Yep.
And so we weren't actually watching it. And I was like, oh my God, because I have it on in the background, on the telly, but silent.
Uh-huh.
I nearly quit because I was like, if something happens to Fred, I'm actually not going to watch it anymore.
Which is just ridiculous, but
wow,
I actually believe you stand by it. Well, do you think you would stand by that?
Yeah.
No. You can't.
Bex, this is one of those that you're creating what's that thing it's
mental illness? You what? Sorry?
No, but it's a false construct it's like a straw man. You know what I mean? It's like a straw man argument where it's you're never gonna have to confront the reality of this, so you can just say it as if
like a false narrative.
Yeah, you're just oh, well, if so and so happens, then I'll do not to be political, but a lot of people said this oh, if Trump wins, I'm moving to another country, and it's well, babes, he's won twice, and where are y'all moving to? Nobody. I mean, now I'm sure some people moved for God knows what reason. I mean, for reasons or whatever, that's fine. But it's people say things, and it's nobody's gonna follow through on this. Let's just be so real.
I mean, don't test me, people.
I mean, but say that to the writers.
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones.
You'll be listening.
Wait, did you see the thing that Al posted to our social media where they were asking Dr. Turner about the movie, and he was like, now Heidi sometimes says to me, you think you're gonna get so saucy on me or whatever. She's like, I could have Dr. Turner lose a lung. I could have Dr. Turner have a kidney fall out. She's like, don't think you can't push my buttons, sir. And he's just like, oh. too, you know. So listen, don't push her buttons. Like, listen.
So should we talk about Fred first?
No, I think
No, it's too upsetting.
I think it's the more impactful climactic story.
Yeah.
So
we talk about Gillian Baxter.
We talk to the little mama.
Who was Baby Pearl, and everyone is like, "Oh, Baby Pearl, Miss."
Is Baby Pearl a real thing?
Well, I googled it and I couldn't find anything.
No, I think it's like like over here, like the fairy baby or the like.
That was what I was going to say. The fairy baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wondered if it was like an equivalent of that.
Yeah, because it's the BBC. They can't actually product place anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like they do, but do you know what I mean? They can't be known to be advertising or talking about something too many times, probably.
Yeah. So we have a similar thing called the Gerber baby, and Gerber is a brand of baby food, and I don't think they still do it, but maybe they do. I haven't really looked, but the little jars of baby food had a label and it had the cutest little baby on the front, and that was always the Gerber baby.
Because the Pampers one were like that as well. I think it was probably the same in Britain and America.
They'll probably use an AI baby now.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I know.
An AB. I don't know what I'm saying, but we don't recommend using AI for the synopsis at the start.
I can't believe how bad that was. Actually, you know what?
I hate AI. I think AI is crap.
The thing is, I am a very anti-AI person, and I was like, oh my God, like just under pressure, like let me just like do this. And this is exactly the reason why I feel my opinion has been validated, even though I was trying to use it. It's just
more false information going into the machine that makes it seem like it's going to be right. So it's actually just it's just more misleading information that's crap. Like it's just anyway.
Well, it just goes to show it can't think. It cannot think in a meaningful way. So
yeah,
lesson learned.
At least we know
Gillian Baxter.
When AI takes over the world, at least we know it's not going to take over our podcast because it can't manage it.
No, you guys, Gillian was gorgeous.
I did not like Gillian.
I also didn't like her, but also Bob's also agreed that she was gorgeous because Bob's came in while I was watching it, and she was like, "Oh, she's pretty," and I was like, "She is, but she's heavily pregnant, but she's breech." And she was like, "Was I breech?" I was like, "No, goes back to bed."
Why didn't you like Gillian?
She was an awful person.
Well, let's talk about the storyline, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yes.
So also, it's always Sheila moving breech babies, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it's like her specialty.
Sheila's got the knack.
Yeah.
It might have been a special training that she did or something.
Well, maybe.
But so she comes in from a modeling gig, and Miss Higgins is like, you know, like she's meeting like a celebrity. Yeah. And Jillian's kind of like, oh, you know, okay. So then she goes in, and it's Jocelyn who does the exam, realizes she's breached. Joyce realizes she's breached. Phyllis confirms it, right?
You combined then Rosalind and Joyce into Jocelyn.
Oh, okay. So so that's right. So it's Rosalind who examines her, and then
no, it's Joyce.
It is Joyce.
Really?
Actually, it might have been Rosalind.
It's the white one. The white girl.
Yeah, Rosalind.
Yeah, that's Rosalind. Yeah, no.
Oh, and it's okay. Rosalind with a D. Oh my God, edit this bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what, guys? We've watched 2 episodes in a row to try and record tonight and tomorrow, and we're all getting
back on the air.
Yeah.
Earlier. Yep. Yeah. And it's hard. It's not easy.
And I've actually
we make it look so easy.
I know. The second episode yet.
Doesn't this look seamless, you guys? Listeners, right?
I feel like we should start the whole thing again.
No, we'll be fine. Got my magic energy.
No, yes, Alex's magic is going to make us sound so professional.
Fine. We never need to worry.
But so, anyways, so they're like, come back to the maternity home. We'll do an extra thing that we can try to do to see if we can basically like squish your baby around in your tummy.
Get Sheila's strong arms in.
Yeah, just kind of like give her like the old heave ho, and so they do that, and it doesn't work. And then they're like,
well, it works. And then the baby flips back.
Oh, I thought it didn't work.
Well, it did, and then the baby flips back.
But did you see the first bit of like her being really self-conscious about how she looks because she's a model was when they were like, oh, it's going to bit of bruising, and she was like, bit of bruising. And then the next scene of her is her modeling, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's when she goes into labour, and I thought they were going to be like, lift your top up, and she's going to be bruised, and they were like, they didn't.
Well, the thing is, it's not like she's going to be doing 2-piece bathing advertisements like
but they didn't. I thought it was going to be that. So then they told her as well to come in early as soon as she gets any labour pains, because obviously it's a bit of a different birth
kind of thing.
But she did, like, I thought it was going to be one of them ones where they don't do it, and they, when they just don't listen, and you get dead frustrated. You're like, well, you bloody should have come in. But she did. She did actually.
She did go in, yeah. To the chagrin of her, like, absolutely hilarious and horrible agent, who was this woman that she was like, she's like, oh, love, get up, like, it was so.
Have you ever seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
No.
I've seen an episode of it, yeah.
It's brilliant, but her agent's like that, this really smoking, like, what are you gonna do about it? Like,
it's like Jerry's agent in Friends.
Yes. She's like, well, I could book you as a horse. You want to be a horse? And he's like, no, I really don't. She's like, look, kid, I can't make magic happen,
So yeah,
we should say though that Gillian has got a booking with the baby 2 weeks after she gives birth
for a baby line.
She was a baby model, so she wants her baby to be a baby model, and she's really hoping for a girl.
Because it's easier to model with a girl.
But
more booking jobs.
Why does all babies look genderless? I think
they just said it, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, they just. I mean, they're not. I thought that.
Put the baby in pink. Put the baby in blue. Nobody's gonna tell what that baby's looking like. You know what I mean?
It's got a really masculine chin. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
I just don't.
It has a horrible birth. It's not great because obviously it's a breech birth, so it's not easy. But it's Rosalind's first.
And girls, I didn't think her husband was that whatever.
He looked about 12.
His hair was so odd to me, you guys.
His hair was very emo, I thought.
Yeah, although I will say he seemed very muscular, like, for that time period.
Well, he was obviously a model as well, wasn't he?
Yes, that's exactly what I got from it. Like, very kind of like, he had kind of a very super angular look. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I thought, yeah, they've definitely met modeling, whatever. But he was nice. He was nice. He was just kind of a whatever husband.
Yeah, he was just waiting patiently while she was having the baby. She had a girl.
Yeah, beautiful girl.
But I did want to say times have changed, because was it partway through? Is it Dr. Turner who somebody asks if Mr. Baxter can come in? Is it Dr. Turner?
Phyllis. She gives him a chalky lime or something like that.
And I just thought how times have changed.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it's with Angelina saying that.
The birth was over, so I mean that's usually when dads, I feel like, it's a.
No, I thought.
Yeah, she'd just been born. They were like, oh. Does Dad want to come in and meet her straight away, kind of thing?
And they were like, yeah.
And then she will be stunning tomorrow, they said. She will be stunning tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they do come out quite squished and...
Well, we've spoken very, very openly about my Bob's looking like a troll.
But the thing is, all babies are just... When they come out, it's like, give them a second to, like, rehydrate or something.
And their heads are weird shapes. They've got to just, like...
Very weird. Yeah.
The best... thing you see is clips of dads when they have no idea that their heads come out like that, and then they will go to a normal shape.
That was me and my husband. That was me and my husband, both of us.
Well, like conehead babies, because it's been kind of squeezed.
Yeah,
they'll be fine. Everyone's fine in the end. It's just let them just kind of chill out for a minute. You know what I mean? Just everyone needs to settle themselves. But anyways, so the baby comes out. She's stunning. Everyone says how stunning she is. Parents are so excited. Well, then Phyllis is in the nursery where all the babies are kept after they've been born, And she's like, oh, poor little lamb. And then she looks at her legs. Something's off with her legs.
How cute are her legs, by the way. I forget how cute babies' little legs are.
They're just these little twiggy legs. So freaking cute.
Like little Kermit the Frog legs.
Well, and I just love because, like, the diapers are so big. Like, there's, like, spoiler alert, there's a scene, later on where Rosalind is saying to the mom, I can't remember her name now.
Gillian Baxter.
Gillian, yeah. Like, oh, we can put her in a double nappy and that'll help, like, her legs or whatever. And I'm like, and then she's like, do you want to try putting on the second one? I'm like, honey, you have one diaper. Like, the diaper was already so big on this baby. I couldn't believe that she didn't already have two on the baby. Like, it was like, I always feel like these babies are sitting in watermelons. They're just so massive, these diapers, and I'm never going to get over it. But anyway, Dr. Turner is like, oh, she's got hip
congenital hip dislocation.
Yeah. And they're like, you're going to see an expert. Huh?
Try not to fret. And you're like, eh.
And I thought congenital, they said that just means you've been born with something. And I was like, oh, right. Because you could literally just be born with
anything.
Everything,
honestly.
Yeah. So, because...
like freckles. I mean, anything. Yeah. I thought it was way more benign than I thought the same. Sorry, but yeah.
So because the baby was breech, it's quite common for him to have this issue, and she needs to wear a brace for 6 months.
Now they do this all the time as well, though. They're like they check this every time a baby's born now. Still for this, they call it clicky hip, I think, more now. But so yeah, she had to go to St Cuthbert's, and basically they give this bad news, and she's like, "Hospital's the place to give bad news. I don't want to go." She wasn't keen to go at all, and Phyllis was, she wasn't keen on Phyllis going with her either. I thought, is this a storyline about her thinking Phyllis is old again? Do you know what I mean?
Something was up, and no one was asking, and I was like, "Oh, okay, here we go."
But also, and this is partly why I didn't like Gillian, is when Phyllis said to her, "Try not to fret, love," she like snaps at her and was like, "You'd fret if your child hadn't come out normal." And it's just that I was just like, oh.
I can forgive that more than the other bit that we'll talk about in a minute. So when they got to the hospital, it was the...
No, she doesn't say come out normal. She said if your child had come out wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's quite bad. But did you see when they turned up to the hospital, it was just the other normal building that they changed the sign for?
Yep.
So will she be able to walk? She was just really angry with the doctor. And he was like, yes, if she's treated, which is why she's here, right? So they're like, they put this harness on over her clothes, but it has to be worn at all time. Only removed for changing or bathing, but not for long, right? And
but for 6 months, you guys, for 6 months.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you know that that's going to be the best thing for your child.
Oh, wait. Sorry. No. I meant like it's if she wears it for 6 months, then she will be fine.
Yeah.
And then she can walk, and then she can grow up normally, and she'll be fine. That's what I mean. Like she was acting like it was this unbelievable, like, disability that was never going to be overcome, and like all the, the cost. And I was just like, I'm not in any way minimizing like that it was going to be hard. Like,
and it's overwhelming becoming a mom. We didn't know at this time about her mom.
And she's fearful, and she's, like all the things. But at the same time, like, considering, I don't know, I just was like, let's just also have some perspective. It
just seemed very vain.
My brother was born with something with his feet, and he had the NHS prescribed him a pair of green wellies to wear.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And he just had to remember the green wellies that had little eyes on the front.
The little frog ones,
the froggies.
I don't know what it was about those wellies, but they just corrected how his feet were.
That's amazing. I want to know ask your mum what it was called.
Yeah,
but there's so much when you're born that like your body just isn't quite all the way cooked yet. You know what I mean? And if you just kind of scooch things back in place for a little bit, it'll figure it out.
My nephew had something with his feet as well, and we said it was where my sister-in-law had rested a cup of tea on a bump.
What, if she dented the baby? If she dented your nephew?
Do you know, I never had a massive bump because I'm tall, and I was really gutted about that because I always wanted to like eat my dinner off it and stuff. When you see on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
got a photo of me at 9 months pregnant, and my dad's got a bigger belly than me.
Wow.
Anyway, that's by the by. So,
your dad, okay, yeah.
Do you know what? He's very thin now. So she was just so rude and ungrateful, saying she's going to go home straight afterwards with the.
Oh, but wait.
Phyllis. Oh, go on.
When the doctor put the harness on, she asks if she can wear it under her clothes.
Yeah.
So that you can't see it. Have we talked about this?
No, not yet. No.
And they say, well, no, because the reason it's designed to be worn over the clothes is so it reduces the risk of like chafing
and hurting their skin where they're dead uncomfortable.
Yeah. It absolutely would chafe like heck if you had. I mean,
exactly, poor kid.
It even had like little shearling. It looked like on the back side of it, but it's still like that would rub.
Yeah.
And like, I totally get why they want to have it, outside of all of her stuff and everything. And even the nurse like gives her the little like tutorial on how to put it on and how to, do it correctly and everything. And, she says, no, you have to do it tighter. Like it's for the baby, to make sure like it really works, like the way it's intended. And she's like, oh, but she doesn't like it. She's crying and everything. And she says, I understand. It's uncomfortable, but it's not painful. Like you really have to do it the way that we said to do it. Yeah, and she was just, you could tell she was just really down in the dumps.
It's like short-term pain, long-term gain in this situation, isn't it?
100%.
Oh, literally, yeah.
So she tries to get away from Nurse Crane as soon as she can because Nurse Crane had taken her there, but her husband had turned up at the end of it. And she was just like, let's get away from here. Just so rude. And Phyllis was like, come with us. You need the support. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she basically goes home, goes to bed, and she really seems to be struggling to bond with this baby. And at first you think, I kind of still think it's a very vain thing of her, if I'm honest.
I do as well.
Well, but girls, let's be honest, like so much of her identity is built up around her looks because of Baby Pearl and like her modeling career and like all of that. Like it's not shocking to me that, she would have a lot of anxiety about that.
But then also the husband saying that you told Gillian no one can see the baby. And they were like, we said no such thing. So she's stopping family meeting it as well.
I know, but she's so, I mean, listen, I'm not saying she's right. I'm not defending, but she's incredibly self-conscious. And like, we've seen other mothers do the same thing when they feel that their baby like is going to be judged or isn't up to par or isn't quote normal or isn't whatever. You know what I mean?
Is a thing.
Like,
But do you know the worst thing that could have happened at that time, guys? The agent coming in and seeing the baby and going, what's that?
Oh my God. I will say it was absolutely horrible, but that agent was really making me laugh. And that was like an actual moment of brevity because she walks in, she like just barges in, she's got a bouquet of flowers. She's like, all right, love, like, let's see the little, hobnobber or whatever she says. And then she's like, oh, what's wrong with her? And she's like, well, she just has to have a brace on for a little while. She's like, well, I'm gonna have to cancel that booking. Anyways, call me whenever you're like back to quote normal or something. Bye. And like just runs out of the
thing is though, that would have been stressful because obviously Gillian's thinking she's back to work soon and getting money.
And it's her income.
Obviously that is, exactly. And that income's not coming in now. So that's going to make her worried. She's also just had the whole hospital experience, which we don't know why. So then she starts screaming at the baby. She's not coping. And then we find out why she doesn't like hospitals. She explains that her mum died last year. And who was there? It was Nurse Crane and who else? Was it Rosalind?
I think Rosalind. Rosalind was with her through a lot in this.
Yeah, they came to do checks and Phyllis was brilliant. Like, oh, you poor lass.
Because Rosalind could tell she had a wet nappy on, couldn't she?
Yes. And they were a bit like, this baby's, what are you doing, mate?
Oh, no. Wait, we're forgetting a whole part. So she gets upset and Phyllis is like, listen, why don't you just go have a walk, get some fresh air and see how like you'll feel a lot better.
Oh, no,
like,
this is after that. This is after that.
Oh, I know. This is after that. But the problem is why she feels like she's a bad mom and she's so upset is because she goes for a walk and the baby's in the pram, but it's crying. And everybody's looking at her and she's like all dressed up and like looks gorgeous and everything. And the baby's upset and everything. So she takes the harness off the baby because she's ashamed and everything. And so
then she goes to the laundrette with Mrs. Wallace.
Yeah, yes. And then she goes to Nonna's house and knocks on the door. And
hang on. Mrs. Wallace picks the baby up, doesn't she?
Oh, okay. See, I missed the laundrette part.
She picks Stephanie up.
Yeah.
And basically Gillian has a massive go at her, being like, she's got something wrong with her. You can't do that. You can't do that. And obviously Mrs. Wallace had no idea there's anything wrong with her because she didn't have a bloody harness on.
Right.
And then she knocks on the Nazis' house. Yeah.
Right. And then she goes there and she says, and she gives the baby to Jocelyn and she's like, here, Rosalind, sorry. She's like, here, take my baby. I'm a terrible mother. Like, and I was like, well, honey, you don't really think you're gonna like whatever. But anyway, she was in crisis. Okay. Yeah. So then Rosalind is like, oh, okay, you need to come in and like sit down and have a cup of tea. We need to talk about this because whatever. So they sit with her on the thing and she says, but she's like, I can't deal. And so they say, well, what about your mom? And she says, that's when she says, my mom died last year. I feel so alone. And then it's Monica Joan is like, well, what other supports do you have? And she says, well, that's it. Like, it was just me and my mom growing up. And then Phyllis gives her a big hug and she says, well, listen, she's like, I was the exact same way. It was just me and my mom. She's like, it's a beautiful bond. It's really special. She's like, you're going to be a great mom. Like, and that really like turns it around. And then they hand her the baby back with the harness back on and the baby's not crying.
Yeah.
Little Stephanie is not crying.
And so then Phyllis says, well, she says she's never going to take the harness off again. I'm so ashamed. Fine, right? Then Phyllis says, it's going to be all right. You're going to be an excellent mother. I thought you don't know that, Phyllis.
No, you don't.
She does. You guys.
She could be awful.
Justice for Gillian. Give her a break. This is like a week into her first, week as motherhood.
It's bloody hard, but she was vain. She was bloody vain. Good job, I wasn't.
You guys.
I wouldn't have shown anyone.
Oh my God.
You took a picture of her in the hospital, do you remember? Like at 3:00 in the morning.
I said she was the most beautiful, angelic newborn baby I'd ever seen in my whole life.
You absolutely lied.
Listen!
Rosalind was there for the christening and she was in their christening gown in a harness on top. I did like that extra touch.
Yes. And actually that was really sweet because one of the things that Gillian had said was like, whatever her husband's name was, like his family wanted to have the christening. Yeah. And she was like, no, we can't because of all this and everything. And then that just went to show how much of a turnaround she'd made because she even says to Rosalind, will you come to the christening because you've helped me so much and you're so great? And she says, if I'm off work, I can definitely come. And then she goes.
Did I ever tell you about Bob's having a birthmark that I didn't know about?
Where?
Like on a back of the shoulder. And it was like, I it was literally like this weird red. It wasn't a birthmark. It was like this blood mark thing.
Oh.
And it was totally normal and everything was fine. But because I was out of it when she was first born and stuff and doing the checks and stuff, I didn't know about it. And when I first got home, I couldn't do any nappy changes. I couldn't bend over or anything. So I wasn't doing any of the nappy changes. So when I first did a nappy change, she had no top on. I changed it. I thought I'd like broken her arm or something because it had this mark on the back.
Oh, and
My husband
and
was
your
like, no,
husband
that's actually a birthmark. Sorry, forgot to tell you.
Oh my God. Was it like the one that baby had that was a strawberry mark?
No, it was smooth. My friend had one of them on their on her forehead, and it just went by the time she was 4.
My friend's baby's got one right on her temple.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it'll probably go. They do.
And my friend said to her boyfriend, "Should I put a hat on her?" And he was like, "No." She did a Gillian basically.
I don't understand why a baby couldn't wear a hat, but okay. I mean, that's fine.
Well, no, it wasn't a hat. It was a hairband.
Oh God.
Oh, I don't. They just look like they're squeezing their heads. I don't think that's nice.
But also, Nurse Clifford was running the parenting class, and she invited Gillian to do the parent crafting.
I love this, you guys.
And it was like they'd got their own modelling job doing, showing out how to do like the wraps.
Oh, it was like, it was so, you guys, we talk about modern. This to me was so modern. The fact that she made those like baby wraps that we see all the time now for the moms to wear.
Though.
Huh?
It didn't look secure though, did it?
Well, it did.
That's what they do now. Still, just loads of fabric.
No, but
when they do it loads, not.
Yeah, Bex, you got it. Yeah,
but not the Call The Midwife version.
Oh, right.
Well, the thing is, the ones now are made out of a really nice, thick, like stretchy jersey, so you can get that like snug, like wrap thing. Whereas these look like they were cotton. I was like, is that like, you know how like the baby's like shifting around, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it fell out. You know what I mean? That's what
I joined a library service for them. So around here, you can rent them or like get them out, like rent them and come them back in. Yeah, it's really good. But Bob's was just so fat and boiling at all times. It was just awful.
They are. Yeah. When you wear a baby like that, it's so hot.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine if you like literally just hugged someone for like 2 hours? If you were like touching another person's body like continuously for that long? I mean, no.
I can't imagine that. That's what happened when she's ill.
Oh,
still to this day.
Oh, gosh, you guys. No.
I had my nephew in one and we went out for breakfast and I think I had toast because I was like, this is going to be the easiest thing to eat with a baby on front of me. When I took him off, he was covered in crumbs.
I was gonna say toast does not seem super. I'm such a messy eater though. Like I'd be afraid I would drop everything.
Gillian Baxter also made Nancy wear dark blue eyeshadow, and she was like, "Nothing wrong with a bold approach. Princess Anne does it all the time." And Nancy did not look good with dark blue eyeshadow.
Princess Anne is still doing the same look now.
Oh my goodness.
She's still got the same hair now.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, Nancy, I missed the dark blue eyeshadow thing, but Nancy's always wearing a lot of like crazy makeup. Like at the end of this episode, she like walked in like, I don't know if she does like spray tan or what, like if the actress does it, whatever. But anyways, in the end scene, she was very brown. I felt like she looked like very like tanned, and then she had super pale lipstick on.
Yeah,
which I got to admit, I know it's so period and it's so correct, but I don't like that look. I don't think anybody really pulls it off, but. That's just me.
Shall we talk about, well, these both storylines are together, which is Violet for Mayor and Fred.
Yes.
Violet is running for Mayor.
And Reggie comes.
Yeah.
Fred's got Fred's not convinced about running for Mayor, is he?
No.
I mean, he's trying to put on a good face for Reg, but like he's kind of like, oh, maybe she'll lose and everything will be fine.
Now, they say they're clearing the space for the Reverend. Who the bloody hell's the Reverend and why do we never see him? Since Tom Harewood?
Cyril.
Oh, is it just for him?
That's who I took it to be.
Oh, well, I'll show them.
Because he even says, I think, like, Cyril said something. He's like, but the Reverend, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's how I took it anyway.
Right. Just because since Tom Harewood, we've not seen the Reverend. Do you remember we saw the Reverend's wife and she was
amazing. I wish, I don't think they even have a pastor anymore there.
Yeah, exactly.
We never hear about it, so, yeah.
Well, it's just someone we just don't see anymore.
Yeah, because isn't Miss Higgins living there now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, she is. Well done. Yeah.
And we saw her doing some gardening, iconically, in her rollers, which were crazy to me, but yeah.
Fred saying hi to her, and she was absolutely like, oh my God.
I know.
Now, so we've said about him using pliers on the lawnmower. I thought he was going to have his hand off and didn't. Go on.
Should we introduce Bill Regan, who's running against...
Next. That happens just after, so you can say it now.
Yeah, so Bill Regan is running against Violet for Mayor. Now,
But we meet him first in like name only before we meet him as a real person.
Yeah, because
Violet's surgery.
Landlord.
Yeah, he's a slum landlord.
And how do we know he's really bad? Because Matthew says, I have the unfortunate occurrence of having met him, and he is the worst of our kind ever. I don't know what I'm doing with this voice, you guys.
I don't know you were either. But I really love Bill Regan.
He said he was terrible.
Actor, like a proper dastardly villain, like a proper classic villain.
Yes.
Did you recognize him, Alex?
I did, but I can't remember where from.
Well, no, because I looked to see where I recognised him from. And to be honest, he's been in every detective show that's ever been aired in the UK.
That's right. That seems right. I felt that way too. I was like, I know I've seen this guy.
I don't remember. Where is he from though? Like
every single show.
Yeah, but like he must have had a bigger part in something, because I remember seeing him and thinking, oh.
You know what? He's what I have come like my sister and brother-in-law. I have started to say that he's that guy. We watch things and we're like, oh my god, that guy. Like, and you've seen him so many times. Famously, like Ron Howard's brother, like I can't remember what his name is, like Colin Howard or whatever his name is. He has been in everything, but he's always like that guy. He's always like the third supporting character who says like enough lines that you're seeing his face over and over again, but he's never like he's never the main character. You're never gonna know, but you just see him enough that you're like,
I know it's Happy Valley. Happy Valley is where I know him from.
Yeah, I've not watched.
Who's he in Happy Valley?
A detective.
See?
He is, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, but yeah, he's horrible from the word go, and it's a nightmare. And the thing that actually was horrible was that when they start talking about him, it's a lady at one of Violet's clinics, and she says, well, the water goes off on Friday, then he fixes it on Tuesday, then it goes off on Friday again. She's like, it's been like that for 3 months. He can't ever get it to be fixed, and he won't do anything. And then Violet says, well, you deserve better, and he doesn't need to patch it. He needs to like pull the pipes out and repair them and everything. And then Matthew says, yes, I know him. He's like the worst, and blah, blah, blah. And then so Violet, when she drops off her application, which this whole mayoral election process to me was crazy. Like I was like, what are we even doing here? But basically she fills out an application, they accept it, and then she thinks she's gonna be the only one because she does it like right before the deadline, and then like right after he walks in, and he's like
smug git.
I was going to say smug as hell. Yes, absolutely. He's like, oh, well, seeing as I'm a man, I don't think this should be really a very hard race to win. And she's like, well, we'll see about that, and I was like,
it was amazing when Violet confronted him with the slum landlord allegations. Absolutely injected it into my veins.
I know.
But I know it was of the time, but it was the way he introduced his wife, Nora, and then was just like, she crochets.
Well, he doesn't know anything else about her, Bex. So, I mean, he barely knows her name is Nora. Like, I mean, they haven't had a conversation in probably 25 years. He's not married to her because he, like, loves her. He's married to her for some probably horrible, like, social class reason, you know?
She's probably, like, someone powerful's daughter or something.
Yeah, he doesn't know his children's birth dates. Like, this is not a man.
Oh, but I bet he was fun to play for that actor.
Oh, I mean, he was just the most one-dimensional villain. It was like a cartoon villain. It was so good. Yeah. So good. So we've said about Mr. Regan is bad.
She's just confronted him with the slumlord allegations I was saying.
Oh yeah, she's like, and I'm gonna take this other copy to the health department.
It was amazing.
She like almost like boop boop boop, like snapped her fingers. Like shouldn't do that much, but it was, and he was just like, oh god, yeah. I felt like Violet cast a glance to the secretary, and the secretary like couldn't really do anything, but I felt like she was sending out like, yeah, you get him,
was
girl.
A Violet Buckle supporter.
Yes, absolutely.
Like so the rest of us.
Yes.
So what I really liked then was Fred and Trixie scene where he was like, oh, he wasn't himself either, was he, at this point?
Well, he's already injured himself by BT dubs, so...
And you can always also tell from his voice, like he
seems bad.
If I was going to predict what it was going to be, I would have said a stroke, because it's like his voice was slowing up.
But I agree with both of you, but because we'd seen the injury that he got where he's like, oh, look, I've cut myself something terrible or whatever. And then, girls, I hate to say it, but like not only does he get absolutely sliced across the palm of his hand with like rusted metal, but then he wraps it in like the dirtiest rag that you could ever think of. And he just sat with it until they were done.
But he just works with medical professionals every single day of his life.
Oh my God. And then like literally they're sat on the bench and they're having this soda and they're talking and it's like, oh, didn't we do great or whatever? And it's like he comes comes home and then he hugs Vi before she goes to drop off her application.
Oh yeah.
And he gets like a big like blob of like blood on her like white collar of her like nice
Oh,
suit
but
that
how
she's
bad for
wearing.
her to be shouting at him for that? Because then you'd feel so
Oh,
guilty, wouldn't you?
I know,
Yeah, but,
I know. But
like,
you don't
get the blood
know.
out.
But then he goes, oh, it's absolutely seeping. And I'm like, Fred, is this not giving you a... This is the next day, sir.
Well, I thought maybe it might be sepsis. But anyway, sorry, carry on. So Fred and Trixie have this lovely scene, and he's not himself, and he's worried about Violet being mayor, right? Then you cut back to Violet and Matthew having a lovely scene. Like, I like the fact that those two had swapped partners to kind of have a lovely chat, heart to heart.
Yes,
I really liked that.
Yes.
And then also, just because this is just a little aside, but I did like the fact that they kind of agreed to do it beforehand. Violet and Fred were talking about agreeing to pay Reggie, about how like it feels, he's working, but they don't give him a pay raise, and they're like, we're going to do it. We're going to give him a pay.
He's a man. He deserves a proper income.
Well, this is because they've been paid for the work that they've done in the garden, and Fred promises Reggie half.
Yeah.
And Fred has so sweetly says that he's going to save up to take them out for dinner.
To Napoli's, which was very cute.
It was really cute.
But he said, he's like, this is for you. And then he says, but it has your name on it. And so that's when I think Fred is like, I want him to have something he feels like is truly his own, not just like my leftover kind of,
But put a pin in that for later.
Oh, and wait a minute. We have to go back and note that after Fred gets injured, they're sitting on the bench and they're talking about Vi running for mayor. And Fred says, listen, like maybe she won't win and it'll be like great for us or whatever. But if she does, we have to stand by her. And even though I don't, he's like family first. He makes a whole big thing about family.
Yeah.
And so that is like
Reggie
a through line.
Reggie doesn't really want her to win, does he?
He just does. I don't think he really has an opinion. I think he's just following.
I feel like that's me on the PGA for my family.
I feel like Reggie
loved it at first, and then when it took ridiculous amounts of nights away from
and me and Jen were like, just quit.
Oh my god, yes, we were like, why don't you
guys.
Like, yeah, you did, you took a stand.
Yeah.
I will say Fred did it at the end of the year. She just stood down. She didn't just quit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did it responsibly. I did it responsibly. Yeah. I have actually. Can I just say, I have volunteered at events since. Like, I've not just left in the lurch or anything. I'm still a responsible parent who's on the PGA. Anyone who is a parent should do it anyway. So this isn't I don't even know what that was.
So anyway, like you're literally talking to your PTA right now. You're like, I'm doing the work.
I'm Violet doing my speech. So Fred's wound was disgusting, and he was saying to Violet, I don't feel right. I just want to stay home as he's feeling too clever, right? And Violet's like, get bloody dressed and get to that mayoral meeting because I need your support.
Yes, and Trixie, quick rewind, does say to Fred, have you had all your jabs? And he says yes. And then she's like, okay, well, in that case, then just keep this clean and da-da-da-da-da. And it didn't look that bad.
That made me think it was sepsis.
Yeah.
I didn't know Fred was a liar.
I know.
So then Violet sat there.
Well, he wasn't lying. It was just out of date. It was out of date.
Yeah, he had the jab, but he just had it 20 years previously.
Right.
Yeah.
I got bitten by a dog in France when I was about 3, and I had to have a tetanus jab in my bum.
Oh. So are you just covered now?
Don't know.
Wait, what do you mean covered? Oh, you mean by the vaccination? Like by the shot?
By tetanus?
I think it's like every 10 years, I've heard. If you don't.
No, then. Yeah. 31 years ago.
Yeah. So actually, the reason why I think I'm right about that.
41 years ago.
I know. Let's not give it away. But so I was actually working a job. This was, I want to say, like late 2010s. Like, I want to say maybe it was before COVID. It had to be before COVID.
She got bitten by a bat.
No. But I was doing this. It was like I got a job. It was like a costumes, but it wasn't costumes. It was like we were building these set pieces, but they were all these like cloth tents, and they were super heavy and it was super laborious. And we were working in this. It's not going to sound right to say the word shed, but like just imagine like an open air like structure basically. And it was in North Carolina. It was the end of May, and when I tell you, it was an unbelievable heat wave. It was like so hot every single day that we were working. Like honestly, the job absolutely like killed me. But I was doing this thing where it was something where I was like rolling up the fabric or whatever, and the thing that I was rolling it up on had like metal components, and I scraped myself, and it drew blood, and I went and got cleaned up and everything, and then I went home and I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, you've got to get a tetanus shot. She's like, when was the last time you had one? I was like, honestly, don't know. Like, don't know if I've ever even had one ever. And so I went and got one, and I got a lot of attitude about like having them reimburse me for it because it cost me $50 to pay for it. And I did get reimbursed, but I also, anyway, I'm glad. No, it was in my arm. They shot me in my arm.
Now, I have a tetanus story because during COVID, I was walking the dog and I think I was wrestling a tennis ball off him and I got nipped on my hand.
Oh, by the dog.
Yeah. And then in my paranoid COVID state,
not you,
I was convinced I needed a tetanus jab because this dog bite that had drawn blood was going to mean I needed a tetanus jab. Mid-COVID, so I was like, oh my God, I'm going to like it. You couldn't easily enter like any sort of medical establishment. It was all like it was just complicated.
Can you
but I was
get
like,
tetanus?
I'm also taking up precious resources during COVID.
Your dog wouldn't have rabies.
But wait, you thought you had tetanus from a dog bite?
I just thought I needed a tetanus jab. I'm not saying, wait until I show you the picture. None of this is rational.
But also, can you get tetanus from dogs?
Probably
you
not.
Can get rabid bites. Yeah, you have to have tetanus injections when you get bitten by a rabid dog. Carry on, but you can't get rabies from dogs who don't have rabies. Carry on.
But I thought rabies was the threat, not tetanus. You can get tetanus from a dog?
I mean, wait until you see the cuts.
I
don't think that's the point we should be hanging
on. Let's see the... Do you know what? We'll share this on social media, guys.
I've got a photo because I sent it to Alex.
Okay.
So I've just gone into my WhatsApp chat from Alex. Now, I've had to zoom in to show Alex the cut. Also, my nails look really good.
Oh my God. Did I shout at you in 2020?
That looks like your knucklebacks. There's no injury.
I'm so glad that I shouted at you in 2020. We're going to share that on social media, guys, for Bex's shame.
It's
my
like
God.
A pinprick.
Barely.
And also, he wouldn't have rabies, but anyway.
Anyway, in my paranoid state...
Wait,
to be fair, it was a weird time.
Can someone find out if tetanus and rabies are the same and if you can get tetanus from a doggy? I don't want to find out.
That's the jab you have to have when you have rabies.
Why don't we ask AI? Because AI's doing
I know.
It's so reliable for us, yeah.
But wait, so you're saying, Al, that rabies and tetanus are the same thing?
Well, when you get bitten by a rabid dog, you have a tetanus injection. So yeah, I'm going to say yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
I thought that the jab for rabies and the jab for tetanus,
guys,
were two different things.
We've got so much to cover for this Fred storyline. I don't think this is the point we need to dwell on.
Now the NHS app says, is it NHS? Human and animal bite. Most animal and human bites are not serious. This was not serious.
Oh God!
In countries where there's rabies, you have to get the tetanus.
Yeah. Here, Jen. This is when if you've been bitten and any of the following apply. I won't go through the list, but one of them is you've not had a tetanus vaccine in the last 10 years.
Okay.
This is actually what I've already bloody said.
I know, but Al, we just need to corroborate.
We needed the NHS to tell us.
No, you bloody didn't. Right. So anyway. Violet goes to this bloody meeting, right? And there's no Fred, and she's there waiting she's fuming.
I'll just say my story was really a lot more applicable than Bex's story.
My head.
Okay, Violet goes to the hospital.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah. So neither of you had rabies, neither did I, because I had a tetanus jab. So we made sure I didn't have rabies. Anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, she's really upset and really hurt, and I can feel her fuming there and feeling really upset and disappointed. So I really felt for Violet because then he obviously collapses, and I thought it was a stroke because I didn't put two and two together.
I thought it was a heart attack.
I didn't. I actually remembered it was tetanus. So sorry, I didn't have a lot of like.
No, well done you.
I think it was.
Well done you. All right.
Yeah.
Where were you then? Where were you with the NHS app? So then you cut to the mayoral meeting. He's just had this thing that we think's a stroke. You knew was tetanus, and Bex thought was a heart attack. And we cut to the mayoral meeting, and this horrendous Bill Regan is doing this horrendous thing. And then Reggie comes in. So it's like dual scenes. You see that scene, and then Reggie runs in, and he gets help from Renata's house. And then someone comes in. So it's like this really horrible, like there's just a lot of tension in those scenes. I thought it was really good.
Wait, can I just say one thing though? And not to take away from the absolute seriousness.
It's about rabies. You're not allowed to say it.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like not to take away from like the absolute seriousness of what Fred was going through, but he was really badly on the ground, half on the sofa, half off. Reggie comes in, he's like, hey Fred, and Fred is like, Reggie, like, I'm not gonna do it. But anyways, he like asks him to get help. And then Reggie just runs out.
He's doing the impression.
No, it's not nice. And so then, but like, I'm like, Reggie, like, say something. Like, I felt like Reggie didn't say anything. Like, I felt like he was like, he just ran away.
Time was of the essence. Reggie knew time was of the essence. He
but
ran
I just
and got...
wish I wish she'd been like, yeah, Fred, I'm on it or something. But like he just ran away and like there was a split second, like truly only a split second in my mind where I was like, is he just scared? And he just like ran away. Like because I mean Reggie's had a lot of trauma.
Reggie.
You know, but he did obviously go to
Well, he went and got Trixie and Joyce, who love it.
Rosalind.
No, it was
Joyce.
Rosalind.
No, it was Trixie and Rosalind.
Oh, who have you written back?
Jocelyn.
Wait, it was Rosalind, right? Or was it Jocelyn? Oh my God, that should be our new Turnadette name.
Well, it already is. You've bloody done it.
I know. I did it. My own.
So anyway, it doesn't matter who it was. Tetanus can be fatal, Fred. And then he was like, don't frighten Reggie in that thing that we're not going to do an impression of. Which I thought, again, he's thinking of others.
I didn't know tetanus was fatal. Or could be fatal. I did not really know that, actually.
It's because of vaccines. None of us knew what tetanus actually was.
Well, I knew it was lockjaw.
I still don't really understand what it is. Like, I guess blood disease or something? I really don't know.
And how is there a vaccine?
It's a virus that gets into your thing and then it gives you spasms and stuff, doesn't it? It can stop you breathing and stuff.
Well, yeah, we all know that now. We've watched Call The Midwife.
Well, I knew, but bloody far what lockjaw was.
Well, but I mean... How do you get over it? You just
have to let it run its course.
You just hopefully get over it, I guess. Well, okay.
But it boggles my mind that there's a vaccine for something, but there's no
cure
treatment for something.
Well, it's almost like when Trixie said that, she's like, you can get the jab for it, but like there's no cure. And I'm like,
yeah, but what's the treatment for COVID?
But did we just stop?
What's the treatment for flu?
Well, I mean, in America, there's medication for COVID, so you get over it.
Is there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there is no treatment for flu.
Well, there's I mean, it's a virus.
Honestly, guys, we've got a lot.
Anyway.
What do they say? Starve a fever, feed a cold.
Oh my God. So anyway, cut to Bill Regan talking down to Violet, belittling her, right? So then she stands
horrible.
Up, right? It's awful. I hated him, but also at the same time, we know about what's happening to Fred. She doesn't, right?
Right.
So then she stands up with a speech. Now, this is I don't know if this is off, if I'm allowed to say this, but I just was like, oh, bloody hell, Violet. It's too much haberdashery lingo there. Way too much for my liking. I was like, we know you work in a haberdasheries, but don't make it your whole bloody personality. I was just like, Christ almighty. If you unpick a thread, I was like, Christ, Violet, get to the point.
Yeah.
And a needle point. And then they get a call being like, excuse me, Mrs. Buckle, but there's a call for you.
Family emergency.
And then we see her shocked face, and then cut to she's now at the hospital. Tetanus and lockjaw's been confirmed.
Terrible.
And then Trixie's like, nothing can fight tetanus. And the scene with Trixie and Violet was so emotional, so beautiful, where Trixie was fixing her face and stuff. I just absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah.
And then she goes into Fred and he's apologizing to Violet. So I think probably Violet was a bit relieved that he was actually awake, and it might.
Well, he could still talk at this point. I mean, he gets worse before he gets better, so.
But then Fred asking how Reggie is.
Oh, he said he didn't want Reggie to be upset and like see him like this and be upset and all that. Yeah.
Crying my eyes out at this
point.
I
was really sobbing.
But and then he was critical but stable.
Yeah, but then here's again, like, sorry to like divert from the seriousness of Fred, but like this is where again I do not understand this mayoral race, because it's not for the whole city of London, obviously. It's just for like this one little part of London. And then we find out Violet's quote dropped out, but she hasn't actually. It's just because she, I guess, just mentally has dropped out. Like, she didn't do anything formal to drop out. She's just gonna sit by Fred's side and all that, which she does very dutifully. And actually, before we find out about the mayoral thing, which comes a little bit later, then there's a really heartbreaking scene, oh my God, where Violet's at Fred's bedside. He had to go on oxygen and get intubated because he was like, there was like his lungs were filling up and he was like having struggled to breathe. So they intubate him and he's laying there. He's unconscious. And she says, the doctors told me that like even when someone's really sick, they can still hear their loved ones talking to them. So she's like,
sorry, I'm going to talk to you. Really quick, just before this, when he could speak, he was like, look after a family to Reggie, because you mentioned the family bit before as well.
Right, exactly. So that keeps up. No, you're good. And so Violet says, oh, like I don't know what I would do without you. Like, if you stop living, then I'll be right after. You're your heartbeat, my heartbeat. She says like these really, she's like, I love you so much. And then she says, but the thing is, if you heard me saying that, you would think you wouldn't even know who that was because we don't do all that lovey-dovey stuff, do we? And she's like, so here's what I'm going to tell you, Fred Buckle. You better get better. You better wake up. You better get your ass home and you better like start doing all the normal stuff you do because she's like, I can't leave you. I can't live without you. And like, I love you so much. And it's so sweet and beautiful.
It was so powerful.
And then she puts her head on his shoulder and you can tell she's just absolutely like trying to hold it together so hard. And I was sobbing.
The breathing acting.
Yeah.
Do you think the actors wear some sort of, I don't know, I was like, do they have some sort of, almost like they've got something over them that's making the breathing, like the chest, right? Because it was a very like...
affected. Well, he is an actor.
Yeah, I know, but I was just like, that's amazing acting.
Here's what I thought. This is my opinion, Bex. I think that they have that medical consultant on the show, and the medical consultant showed them this is what people look like when they're going through it, and this is how people act, and this is the diagnosis, and this is the symptoms, and blah, 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 blah. And they had an in-depth thing about this is what happens, and then Fred did his own breath acting.
This is why you're on the podcast, not your in-depth knowledge of Lockjaw, but this.
Yes. So, listen,
it was really affecting Mojo at the same time, and us, obviously, but it was really affecting Mojo at the same time as Reggie as well.
Yes. And actually, this is one of the... Sorry. This is a time where I'm like, Mojo, I'm with you.
Yeah.
You're doing it right. Because this made complete sense that she was losing her mind over this. Because they are besties.
Yeah. And Sister Veronica, there was a scene where Sister Veronica was basically saying it's unlikely I'm getting better. And it was with Mojo and Sister Julianne. And it was a really powerful scene, those three.
Yeah.
And then also... prayers as well. Violet's sobbing in between of that as well. We cut to Violet sobbing, then we see them having prayers, and then Rosalind and Nancy and the three sisters are there. And Nancy's like, I don't want to pray, but I want to sit with them praying to kind of send my goodwill, even though she doesn't believe. And Rosalind wants to pray and stuff. Everyone's just really, really worried about it.
And do you know who I thought of at that moment was your mum, Alex, because your mum did a lot of praying for me at one point.
She did. She does it for there's any ever. She's always like, I'll pray for them. Tell them I'll pray for them. But it does bring a lot of comfort to people.
It brought so much comfort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. I'll tell her that.
Yeah.
But she did pray every night for you.
My mom loves to pray for people too.
Yeah.
No surprise, I'm sure, to either one of you, obviously. But
no.
But also, I have to give Monica Joan another shout out because even though I drag her, I have to give her credit where credit is due. When Sister Veronica says that about Fred not making it, Sister Mojo, I'm not going to do it as eloquently, but she says, well, I do think he's going to make it, and we have to pray for a speedy recovery, but if he isn't, then we have to pray for his soul's everlasting comfort in heaven or something. And she said, and I'm going to go upstairs so that I can put my mind to that effort. And Sister Veronica's like, oh, and so, I mean, Sister like Mojo, like she really, I was with her. I was with her on this journey. Yeah.
And then there was a scene with Miss Higgins. Oh, go on.
Oh, yeah. Well, firstly, Violet coming home to a full, fresh pot of tea, lush. Miss Higgins, she just said, consider me entirely at your service. I just love Millicent.
Same. But like Reggie and Miss Higgins are sat there, supposed to be at breakfast at Renata's house, Reggie, like, because obviously they're all pitching in to making sure they're looking after him while Violet's going about trying to help Fred and stuff, or be with Fred.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't finish the garden without Fred. So Miss Higgins agrees to fix it with him, right? Which was a beautiful scene because she was like, I'm rubbish, but I'll give, I'll do it. Like, you know what I mean? And then Bill Reagan comes to the bloody haberdasheries and he's like, oh, it's such a shame you've pulled out on the race and about your husband. Smugging, even giving condolences. I just thought,
and Fred was still in the hospital. He wasn't,
Yeah, and Reggie was so incandescent with rage. He was like, you need to go for it. That man is horrible.
Yeah. Reggie really gives Violet the strength to do it. Honestly, I was touched by that. Again, I mean, this was me sobbing. I
did think though, if Fred isn't okay, that's awkward because you don't really want to be a mayor then. But he did, so it was fine. But then, do you know the other scene was they were eating at Nanata's house and everyone was like, oh, these tomatoes are from Fred's first crop. And even while he's ill, he's feeding us. Oh,
again, sobbing.
And then Violet comes in, asks Mojo to take Reggie to see Fred, which I thought was a bit of a bloody risk.
But because she's going to go fight for that mayoral spot.
Yes.
And so she says someone needs, but she's like, I need to be doing my thing. And she says, but someone still needs to be with Fred.
Yeah.
You girls.
Thank God Phyllis went with her, if I'm honest. I was a bit like, don't just take Reggie into London. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, like that, 1,000%. But at the same time, this to me was a perfect example of like community and someone using their natural supports and like asking for help and being vulnerable and still going for something that they want, even when there's another crisis. Like this was such high functioning on a just Violet. Yes.
Probably bad terminology. But so Violet turns up with Matthew, right? She turns up with Matthew.
She's like, I brought a friend too.
Yeah, well, he didn't realise they were together, so he was all like, oh, hello, Lord. What's his name? I always get his name wrong. Aylward.
Sir Matthew,
Is it Lord Aylward?
No, it's Sir Matthew.
Sir Matthew.
Sir.
I think, like, let's think of Alan Sugar. When he was Sir Alan, and then once he becomes a Lord, he's Lord Sugar. Sir is first name, Lord is second name.
Right. I don't get that, but okay.
I understand either.
So Alan Sugar was a
No, I don't think we need it repeating. I don't think it matters that much.
Wait, you know what though? Lord Sugar would be a great pet name though, you guys. That really would. Like, imagine if you had a dog named Lord Sugar.
Well, no, because you'd think it'd be named after Alan Sugar.
Well, I wouldn't think that because I don't even know. I didn't even know about Alan Sugar until about 1 second ago. But
you don't need to. So anyway, he sees him and he's like a bit fangirly. He's like, oh. And
Matthew
like,
looked really
like, it's lovely to see you here because obviously he's got power, he's influential, and Violet's like, he's here with me.
Yeah, she's like, here's my friend. Yeah.
And then she does this amazing impassioned speech basically saying she's not special like he thinks he is. And she only bloody went and won. I was like, yees!
No, that speech was a boss speech right there.
Yeah, it wasn't about bloody haberdashery, I can tell you that for nothing.
Yes. It was good.
And then, so cut to the scene of Fred, Reggie and Mojo in the hospital. And he gripped Reggie's hand. And Mojo's all like, yeah, he hasn't. And then she goes to his foot and he moves his foot and wakes up.
Do you know what I wondered? Why Mojo didn't have the seat? She's an elderly woman.
You're totally right. She should have done. It was for her to discover the foot, though.
She deferred to Reg, you know?
Yeah. So Violet and Fred then had the most beautiful emotional reunion that made me sob even more again. Mojo broke the news to Nonata's house for pure joy moment again. Like, it was just absolutely just injected in my veins loveliness. Then they had cut to the scene of Reggie and Miss Higgins' garden. It was just all beautiful. Then Reggie getting his pay. It was just, chef's kiss, beautiful. And then what did Reggie do with his pay, guys?
He paid for Italian food to be brought into hospital for Fred.
He did, and even had a little tablecloth on the hospital. Oh, just absolutely bloody loved it.
I loved it so much, but I will say, like, when Reggie walked into that restaurant and just waved a pile of cash like in the air, like that was I was like, what are we doing? It was the most.
Do you know, we went to a Turkish last night, right? And we had a voucher to pay for it, and we realised it ran out on the 1st of this month, and it's now the 18th, right? So I was like, oh God. So we're not bankrupt. We could have paid for it, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's money for this.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So we went in. I was like, look, can we do it? And he was like, oh, it's run out. And then I was like, I know the person who got it me knows them. And they were like, oh, go on then. But on the way, my husband was like, well, you know, he was like creating these scenarios. If they say this, right, we're just going to walk out. If we do, and I'm like, let's just see what happens first. Stop creating doom-mongery scenarios.
So wait, you guys knew it was expired before you went there?
We checked it about an hour before we went.
Oh, I thought you discovered it like ago. While you're. Oh, okay.
Technically, we booked it before it ran out, so I was going to try that line. But anyway, they were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's nice.
My brother bought my dad for his birthday to take him on this motor racing day to watch this hill climb. I don't even know what hill. Well, climbing a hill in a car. So they set off to go there. My dad, my brother, and my nephew. And
so wait, just to watch cars drive up a hill?
Yeah,
it's a very common practice.
Yeah.
Wow, so you guys really do it right. Okay. Yeah.
They set off, and then
my childhood bet, Jen.
Halfway there, my brother says to my dad, have you got the tickets? My brother said my dad's face just fell because my dad just assumed that my brother had them on email, but my brother had actually given them to my dad in the card.
Oh.
So do you know why this is, guys? 3 men.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they panic that
Yes.
they didn't have the tickets with them. Then my brother had to find that he did have it on an email, but he had to like find the email.
Oh my God.
It was actually the following Sunday.
No! Why are men?
They did go. They went 2 weeks in a row because they went and paid, and then they went again the following week.
That is such a classic male.
Jen, honestly, every weekend when I was growing up, we used to go and watch scrambling motorbikes, but not cars, but basically scrambling up hills and people falling down and being freezing and being like, "Can we go home?" My dad was like, "Not yet."
Well, you guys, so here's what's funny. So my dad, as you both know, was a car guy, like a really big car guy.
Yeah.
And he loved to do car stuff and everything like that. And there was a lot of it that like we all just, because like it was like my mom and me and my sister, so like 3 other women, so we were just kind of like whatever. But even though I made fun of like you guys like driving a car up a hill, I can't even tell you how many weekends of my childhood were spent at car shows because my dad had a vintage car. And so and that's even kind of, I mean, look, I have a lot of happy memories and like obviously I'm super, nostalgic for my dad with this, but that's even kind of dumber because you literally just drive to a parking lot, all of you park your cars, and then you just walk around like
and look at them,
looking at them, and like then like I mean my
Same
dad
with motorbike shows, Jen. Like,
oh my god, and my dad would like be like like sometimes like for a while like he would stand at his car so people could talk to him about his car. Then he would walk around and then he would talk to all the other people about all their
Jen,
cars.
all the boys I work with, this is what they talk about constantly.
Yeah, they don't know like their kids' birthdays, but they know like what color like the car was like from 19
and what year it was, like, and if they've still got the original rims.
And they're like, anyway. Oh no, they haven't issued that since like 1987. It's like, do you even know like what your child's middle name is? No, you don't. But like, okay.
So
I'm being very rude. I'm not saying men are like that all the time.
I am. Oh, what was that?
Sorry, my phone. I've got it on. It's been on noisy all day.
So basically, what this says is Becky is scrolling her phone.
So
Trixie and Matthew go sofa shopping. That was annoying. She got a sofa shop to open late and used it. Like, she was really rude on the phone, I thought she'd be like nicer about it. Like,
oh, see, I missed that part of it. I just saw them like at the sofa shop.
It was entirely reasonable to be a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Matthew wasn't keen on the sofa. I did like. Did you see the bit? Did you see the sofa shopping, Jen? When he was like, she thought he'd circled the sofas, but it was Jonty.
Wait, what?
So they had a sofa catalogue.
Oh, okay. I saw the catalogue. I didn't see. Okay, I saw the catalogue.
So Jonty had circled some. She was like, "Oh, thank God! I thought your taste was awful." And then Trixie at the end was like, "Writing a check for this sofa." And then Matthew looked worried. So let's put a pin in that, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
But no sofas look comfortable in that.
No, they all look. No, not at all.
Anyway, she just was like, "Oh, we can lay down on this one." I was like, "Okay, you guys, come on, we get it."
And I was like, "Get your shoes off that sofa."
I
know. Ugh.
Then when Matthew like sat down and I was like, "You're in bloody public."
Yeah.
Well, the store was closed though. I guess they weren't.
Yeah, no, but still,
give the staff a show.
But then, okay, here's what I want to know. How much do we think that sofa cost?
I don't know, 800 quid. 800 quid.
Yeah, I wish we could have seen the price tag because, I mean, that would have been so fascinating because now I feel like sofas are so expensive, but, like, they're not well made. And, like, anyway, I'm not going to go on a diatribe, but anyways, I just would be curious to know. Anyway, that's
Phyllis and Miss Higgins loved their support for each other in this when she was like, "Can I come round?"
One of my favorite scenes was when, you just said it, sorry. Okay. When Phyllis like walked over and was like, "Can I come in?" And she was like, "Come on in, sweetie."
No, she just said, "Do you want some company?"
Yeah, it was lovely.
Oh, but wait, that wasn't. I thought when I saw it, I thought that Phyllis just walked around spontaneous, but I thought you just said that she planned it.
No,
that they planned it together.
No, she did walk around and then she knocked and was like, "Do you want some company?"
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. Sorry, I thought you were implying that she like called her in advance and said, "Do you want some company?" But,
no.
Okay.
Has anyone got anything else to say about this app before we do Heroes and Zeros?
Well, we never talked at the start when Fred started feeling ill and he just thought he had a summer cold.
Yeah, this massive gash on his hand that he's just infecting more as time goes on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, grim. No, I mean, I don't think so. I think we pretty well did it. I mean, this was a harrowing.
It was.
It was harrowing because it was Fred.
Yeah, 100%.
I know. I like really cried a lot in this one. It was hard. Got my old tissue box out.
Should we do Heroes and Zeros?
Let's go for it.
Next, you want to go first?
My zero is gonna. I didn't want Gillian.
Right, fair.
No comment.
the fact that she wanted it to be a girl so she could model, and then she wanted her to wear the brace underneath her clothes. I can understand.
Sorry.
I can understand it. She was obviously postpartum, so she was very emotional. Like, she's lost her mum, so she was very apprehensive of going to the hospital. But I do feel that there was just this undercurrent of
vanity.
I just didn't vibe with her. And then my hero is going to be Millicent.
Okay.
Love it.
For being there for Reggie and making Violet a cup of tea.
Nice.
Oh, good one.
Jen?
Okay, I will say that my 0 is going to be Mr. Reagan. Like, absolute villain, just
No,
horrible.
I would say Reagan.
He was also my favourite villain, but carry on.
He was very, well, I'll say this, he was a great villain. Absolutely great villain.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah, he was so dastardly Dieters. And then, I don't think I have to say more than that, why he was villain.
No.
And then my hero, I am gonna say that Violet is my hero, because...
You literally had both of mine. That's good.
I know, sorry, I was afraid I was stealing, but yeah, just Violet was just like so awesome. And I mean, here's the thing. I'll say this really fast. Fred and Violet are always present, but this was like their spotlight episode, I feel like.
Yeah.
And the journey that both of them went on of like up, down, all around, like, you know, supporting each other, but then, you know, they still have their own feelings, which are like maybe conflicted, and like, it just felt so real. And they're just such, like, I hate saying I love their love, but like, I love them as a couple. And Violet just was she was just so human and so amazing. Chef's kiss.
Agreed. My 0 is going to be Tetanus, lockjaw.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, don't really think I need to explain that, but we can carry on talking about it for another 10 minutes if you want, girls.
Wait, I've got another story about it.
I'm all out.
And then my hero was going to be Violet. I kind of still want it to be Violet, but also I'm going to give it. Well, no, I'm going to give it to Violet and the community for kind of all coming together and helping each other and sorting it out. Because also everyone all came to help Reggie, and everyone all came, like Mojo was there to help. Everyone was just all helping as normal in the Nata's house, you know, in that community. But still, I did love it. So and I just thought it was fantastic. And also Rosalind, actually, a bit of a special shout out for her, because I thought she was really unconfident, but she was really trying to be there for Gillian Baxter, and she was really good at that as well. So
yeah, and she delivered her first breech baby.
Yeah, which
that's not nothing.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
No. I mean, we probably would now, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, you basically just have to let the butt get out, and then you have to let it hang by its neck for a minute, and then you kind of pull it by its...
We don't want it to gasp. So.
Yeah, and then you just kind of pull it out by its head a little bit, and then it's okay.
We got it licked. So
call me in a pinch, friends. I'm just telling you.
I mean, you are the one we both chose. So, you know what I mean? Next week, we are covering series 13, episode 4. So if you'd like to watch that and listen to us, that'd be fantastic. So you know what we're on about. That'd be great.
And actually, spoiler, you said it's also a really intense, harrowing one, right? I haven't watched it yet.
But it is. But also, I've been watching the new series as well. It started over here, and it's mega.
Oh, see,
much better than the Christmas special. Didn't love the Christmas special as much as the normal ones, but honestly, the first one was brilliant.
I watched it and I can't remember anything about it.
That's good. So, I mean, how unusual is that?
It's only like
that's normal.
Yeah.
What did happen in it?
It was about women's lib and all that.
Oh yeah.
It was really good.
Oh wait, here's a quick question.
Oh wait, maybe I didn't watch it.
I definitely didn't, because I don't have a way to do it.
No, I've not watched that.
But you need to, it's real.
Sorry, girls. Dr. Turner, in that little clip I referenced at the beginning, he says that the movie is going to be set in 1972. So does that mean that the movie is going to come out in between series that's airing now in the UK?
Yeah.
And then
so we don't have a series next year, basically. It's going to be the film instead.
Then
it's I presume so.
Well, we should get Jenn over when that comes out so we can all go see it together.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. Well done.
Okay.
Anyway, right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.